No matter what the play is, like, Renekton is the constant in the LPL. But as you say, the Corki gone. Surprised to see the Nidalee having such respect. But honestly, I feel like while we have a couple of players that specialize in Nidalee, like, you know, like Xiaopeng and Shun, I feel like Nidalee is also just becoming fairly prevalent in general in the LPL.
He is, but I want to pivot really hard to point out that Caitlyn has not been banned.
Oh,
neither team so far.
True.
Neither team so far going towards that one. Aphelios actually the thing taken away. Both Jinx and Caitlyn left open. IG not caring about it at all. Going to instantly go towards a Viktor first pick on their side. And I'd say pretty interesting so far. Renekton first pick blue side. Okay, not the craziest thing. It happens sometimes. And then Viktor Jhin coming out on the opposite side. So IG to me are still spelling out that, hey, their bot lane is still taking more of a backseat role. It's going to be more about the top side, but phase 2 bans can get super weird if both sides just pick completely different roles.
I mean, this is already getting weird. We've got a Diana locked in. We've got the Leona locked in as well. This is a big all-in comp from LNG. I'm liking what I'm seeing right now because it could be Diana jungle, it could be Diana mid. Both are doable right now. Neither are, you know, top of their role. But if it is a Diana jungle, Yasuo could be an option for Doinb.
So I also want to highlight the fact that Tarzan and LNG were one of the first teams to bring this out in summer, which is why they went on that crazy 7-0 run where Icon would play things like the Yasuo and Tarzan would play this. I want to highlight going into second draft phase, I would expect both teams to target different areas, right? You should be taking away mid laners that enable Diana for the side of LNG. So things like Twisted Fate jump to mind in terms of like being able to bring the gold card, being able to set up for the Renekton top side. Where for LNG, you're probably taking away top laners. The generic tank support pool is probably open enough to where you are fine. But, surprising. IG actually banning away the Camille, so signaling, hey, it is Doinb on the roster, right? Probably going to be a Renekton mid, at least in IG's mind.
I think that's a reasonably fair assumption, honestly. But also, you know, IG are used to Camille being a jungler. All those years ago, that was the IG pick. So maybe just haunted by their own past. Maybe not. Rakan going to be banned away here by LNG as well to remove that from the support pool of IG. Remove some of that hard engage since they have the Leona already as well. Could even get rid of the Thresh if you so wanted, but with a Jhin in the bottom lane, the Thresh not quite as high priority.
They did ban away the Rakan because it is Lucas's go-to so far. You still do have things like the Nautilus left open. Rel could have a massive amount of impact into a bunch of champions that want to jump in to be able to get a really easy ultimate. Again, I feel like there's just so many different generic tanks left open that Lucas can have the pick of the litter. I'm curious to see where they go with top lane, but it makes sense. You're going to leave that for last pick, considering that the Renekton pick is a flex.
Okay.
And I like this a lot, Munchables. I love it a lot. Taric into a bunch of champions that need to run into you. That ultimate is going to get so much value in these team fights. As long as IG don't get bursted right away, they're fine. They should be able to take these extended fights.
I like it. I like the creativity. We've got a Taric locked in against a massive all-in composition. LNG now have to decide how they're going to fish this one out. Obviously, the Jinx locked in here for the bottom lane. Question is, where does this Diana go? Where does this Renekton go? Jayce being hovered would mean it is that Diana in the jungle, and it would be... I'm going to say would be Renekton mid. It could be Jayce mid. Either, honestly, either one is workable.
I do expect it to be the mid lane Renekton coming out right. A historic Doinb pick. And on top of that, having Allen top side, I feel like Jayce definitely fits his repertoire much better. Oh, we can get really spicy right now, and I would love it. The wombo from IG would be massive. Malphite, Taric ultimate with him, Chaos Storm following up, On sitting far in the back, opening up the curtain call, and we get it. Malphite shows his face once again, and this is what we tune into LPL to see, these types of drafts.
I'm not gonna lie. When I said I want to see the team focusing on neny, I didn't necessarily mean a Malphite pick, but I guess the focus is definitely on him now with this Malphite pick. Taric and a Malphite locked in by IG. We came in saying that this team didn't have mojo, Lyric. If that ain't a draft with some mojo, I don't know what is. Look at the flexibility that this team is bringing to the table. They see your comp and they raise you one hard counter comp. I love what I'm seeing. And I'm hoping that they can show us that here today, show us a better mid game than what we've been seeing, and bring it to LNG. On the other side as well, LNG leaving something to be desired in their gameplay. They've been getting the wins on the board, but it's not been clean. Let's see if they can clean that up just a little.
And for the side of LNG, we're going to be keeping our eyes on mid-jungle. When we highlighted on the Mojometer that this is the duo that brings that skill set, I'm super happy to see LNG leaning into this, getting Olive back on a pick that can take control of his lane, will at least be able to have some early pressure and maybe try and enable that. And then Light's like, cool, I'm going to be sitting in bot, I'm going to be scaling. I don't know if I expect too much action pre-6. That is really where Diana comes online. You want to be letting her farm, giving her camps, and getting her nice and strong. Where for the side of IG, I think Xun definitely has a lot more early access to his lanes. Both neny and the bot lane can enable good gank setup, so we're going to be seeing where Xun pats, and it is to the top side first. So we've been trying to set that Jayce behind, and yeah, setting neny up to just be a tank. I guess I know where to go with that, because neny's not going to carry on this Malphite Munchables. He just isn't.
I don't expect him to go AP Malphite. Let's just put it like that. So,
it would be amazing.
It would? Well, would it? Would it actually? I honestly think AP Malphite is one of the worst picks ever. Like, even if you want to play Malphite, why would you not just go tank? You still pretty much one-shot carries anyway. The difference in damage is not that substantial, and you're actually useful outside of just one-shots. For my money, don't go AP Malphite. You're just a burden to your team. Thank you.
I gotta say, Munch, you're just an ult bot either way, so getting the big damage out of that, I enjoy it visually.
Think about it. You can be an ult bot that's also a Renekton in a team fight. Just a giant brick wall. No? Think about it. Whereas AP Malphite, you're not even that. Doinb, it's getting kind of destroyed in this mid lane so far in these trades, but it's not surprising against the raged laner. Yuekai doing a good job. Is Xun pathing towards that top side. And I want to point out as well, Tarzan started on this bottom side. He started on his chickens as the bot lane from LNG cleared the vision. So IG don't actually have any information on where Tarzan is currently, despite an early ward.
No, but he's getting pretty massive. And going back to the mid lane point, tying it into jungle, right? For Renekton, this is how the matchup works. If you want to get prio and push the wave, you need to trade health for that. You can play a bit more far back and play safe and not get as punished. But Doinb making a conscious choice to fight for this prio to enable his jungler. And heck, even right now, pivoting up towards the top side, forcing neny off the wave. He has to be afraid of a potential dive because, like you just said, they don't know where Tarzan is. They know Doinb's hovering up. And just overall, nice by LNG to coordinate this map movement.
Yeah, Doinb getting some good trades in. Yuekai's actually completely out of mana. I guess from just trying to push the wave back, right? Trying to contest what Doinb's bringing to the table. Stun onto Light in the bottom lane, a route to follow it up as well. There's not a huge amount of damage available from this IG bot lane this early on into the game, but can become quite a devastating combo, landing those skill shots together, one setting up the other. Definitely work out.
I love that you hit on damage, because I really just wonder if this IG comp will ever come online in terms of damage.
Yeah.
On and Lucas not going to do too much. I feel like IG will be able to survive the initial burst of LNG for sure, right? Like no doubt in my mind, if the skills hit at the right time, the ult comes out from the Taric, neny can buy space with ulting to the back line. But the thing is, again, LNG still a follow-up DPS, even if you do kill one member. So I'm kind of leaning towards LNG in that regard, despite the fact that IG did bring out some of these interesting counters. But yeah, there's still definitely room to punish mistakes, and we've hit on that LNG have definitely been making a fair amount of those.
Yeah. I will say, maybe this is finally the time for Lethality Jhin to make his triumphant return to competitive League of Legends. Maybe that would be the damage they need.
This is so rough.
I don't think so. Oh, Ale. Is he going to fight it? Is he going to cancel the recall? He doesn't quite spot him. Okay, the recall comes out from neny. Look at the gold difference in that top lane already. 14 CS.
Look, we've already seen top laners get massively bullied this split. New got completely wrecked by LNG. We saw Invincible earlier on in the day getting destroyed by View. But I don't want to see neny getting this treatment, Munchables. If hashtag protect neny is not trending on Twitter in like 30 minutes, I am solidly disappointed.
I have a horrible feeling that you're going to be solidly disappointed, my friend. Yeah, poor neny. Poor neny. He is not having a very fun time up with that top lane. But regrettably, I'm not sure that Xin is going to be looking up there until level 6 at very least. And oh, hang on. Doinb's all-inning in the mid lane. Yuekai 1 HP. Doinb doesn't flash for it. I feel like there was a kill angle there, but maybe Xin could have punished if he went underneath the tower. But one more auto would have done the trick. Doinb getting so much pressure in this mid.
100%. Doinb could have killed him, but he also would have definitely died, right? Chaos Storm was there for Yuekai. I mean, Xin was already making his way over. Is engage bot?
Yeah, this is a big engage as well from LvMao. Big damage out from Light to proc all of the Sunlight as well. Won't turn into anything too much, but it will fight for Prio so they can get that reset. It's a minute and a half until Herald. Dragon on the map. Sure if they were going to stop a recall then, but it's going to just be able to get that one off. Xin up on the top side right now. And Ala has been pushing so aggressively all game. I feel like Xin, he's in the right spot to try and make a gank, but neny's already so low on HP. Does have that ultimate available. Maybe there's an angle.
I think even with the low HP bar, they could definitely go for the gank. Doesn't look like they will, though. Maybe conscious of potential wards that could be down from the fact that Allah has kept pressure up this whole time. And we're getting to a point where, just in terms of laning phase, LNG are outclassing IG. Makes sense. They do have strong laning matchups, having the Renekton in the mid lane. Even if he wasn't finding these potential kill angles, you can ignore the Viktor a bit early on and just clear the wave. Again, at the trade of your HP, the Viktor still shouldn't have the damage to kill you outright. We knew Jayce would win early on in this matchup against neny. You are looking for your items where you can survive that. If he really was scared, he would have just gone straight to Bramble Vest and played in Steel Caps. He is going to play more for the team, though, and just make his way towards his mid.
Oh, Lucas has been found, and immediately the Moonfall down. That's a first blood for LvMao, no less. Beautifully done. They steal the blue, and now they can look towards this bottom lane as well. And there isn't anywhere for you to go. Then again, LvMao not going to commit. Will not get the CC. Oh, that actually hits. Okay, they don't commit.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, Light is just hammering away at this tower.
LNG overall, I think their map movement just coming in really clean in this game so far. I feel like this has been the best first 10 minutes as a unit that we've seen from LNG, right? We've seen games where LNG have just stomped games through laning phase so far, but so far they're walking and working as a coordinated unit. I love that they realized that Lucas would have to make his way down from mid lane because he was hovering. And yep, I didn't think there was an angle there for the all-in. And now we're going to be looking up towards the Rift Herald. With Lucas walking straight towards bot, this give LNG a bit of a window, but IG have 2-man and bot, which means they can also secure prio if they do want to hover over.
Yeah, we'll have to see over the next few seconds. Let's take another look at what happened here. Obviously, set up in the brush. Not sure there's much to analyze on this one as Lucas just gets wrecked.
Just really nice play, right? Because typically supports coming out from base do start walking towards their mid lane, especially in a time like this where your mid lane is getting pushed in, so you're wondering where jungle is, and they just use that as a trap to catch him out and find that kill.
Oh, dive in the bottom side here. Light's in trouble. Xin actually saves LvMao's life, and now he's stuck under the tower, and he's eradicated Lucas. He blocks one tower shot, flashes over the wall. The rocket goes wide. On trying to escape as well, and I think he will, but that did not go how IG wanted it to.
No, Doinb just so proactive. This man on Bruisers is one of, if not the most exciting player in League of Legends. You always love to see him on these champions. Did give up a wave to go make that play, but hey, he's still up/even in farm. He's feeling fine. He made sure his bot lane didn't die and even picked up a kill himself.
Oh, neny with the all-in on the top side, but that's all he's got. He is playing Malphite at the end of the day. So Ala gets to just bully him out of lane again. We'll just crash another wave. We'll just get more of a CS lead. And we'll even get another plate on top of that. This top diff is brutal right now.
I got to apologize to you, Munchables, because this action keeps happening out of nowhere and you're not getting to do your job. We pan to bot lane. Bam! Xin randomly flashes under tower. We go to top. Instantly, neny ults in. It's just the LPL style. You know, maybe we're rusty as well. We're just like the teams.
No, Rusty was one of the casters quite a while ago.
True.
It's a different guy.
He's still a caster.
I have been told that we look alike, so maybe you're just getting confused because of that. But No, yeah, different guy entirely. Yeah, he casts over at the LCO, the Aussie League. I don't actually know what LCO stands for, but I'm going to assume it stands for Aussie League, and they're just not very good at spelling. Looking at this game, though, I'm pleasantly surprised by LNG. I'm going to stop this point, because they're going in again. Tarzan trying to find picks, trying to find opportunities. Ward comes down. This is exactly what we wanted from LNG when we saw this roster. When you see LvMao and Doinb on the same roster, you think everyone's just going to roam, everyone's just going to dive, everyone's going to make things happen all the time. I feel like we're finally seeing that this game, right? We get that clean early game we were looking for. We get the smart map play that we were looking for when we saw these players listed on a lineup together. And now we're diving the bottom side as well. And Xun is just eradicating the Moonfall on 3 as well. Tarzan is popping off. And Light's picking up all of these kills. The resets are there, and Lucas will fall as Tarzan gets himself a double. The king of the jungle is here.
LNG not trigger shy at all. You look at the item difference, especially coming out the Hextech Rocket Belt. LNG just know they can go for that dive every day of the week. They turn it into 2 towers. Looks like it might even get a 3rd charge. And when we were saying, hey, LNG on paper are massive favorites, but we expect a close series, this is refreshing from LNG.
This is beautiful to witness. This is what we should have been seeing from LNG the entire split. This was the expectation, and it feels so good to finally see it coming to fruition. And also, LvMao having a great game so far. We are only 12 minutes in. I may be speaking too soon on that one, but comparatively to what we've been seeing from him so far, this is maybe the scrim performance we've seen. Oh, the flash from Ale, beautifully done. Now Doinb maybe looking at a dive here. Xun could be the target as they make the dive happen. Under they go. Renekton tanking for the time being. That's a teleport being channeled, though. That means Ale has to back away. 1 HP, but he does survive. LvMao trying to block. Oh, the laser over the wall to finish him off. Fancy footwork, but not fancy enough. LNG finally punished.
Nice reaction, because I feel like the rotation by LNG was super nice, right? You take 2 turret spot, you move your bot lane mid, opens up Doinb to roam up to the top lane and threaten that dive, but IG coming out of base themselves, coming in enough resources to counter it out, picking up a bit of gold, still are almost 7k gold behind. So, 1 kill, not much of a reprieve, but still the fact that Ala isn't in lane, just, getting free resources, it's a moral victory.
I hadn't actually looked at the gold difference until you just mentioned it. And I knew LNG were winning. I didn't realize quite how hard LNG were winning. I can't believe that's 7,000 gold ahead at 13 minutes in. That is just mind-blowing.
Look at the jungler score lines in CS Munchables. Look at top and mid CS. It's a tragedy everywhere.
I mean, there's 3 towers gone already. Plates haven't even fallen. Plates haven't even fallen off. The only plates remaining are in that mid lane, and that's because it's a Renekton mid. He's not exactly a plate machine, is he? So, a rough start to this one from IG. And the painful thing as well is that the thing we've praised from IG, the thing we were looking for, was that good early game. The early game hasn't existed this game, Lyric.
No, they didn't even get a chance. I mean, LNG came out, they drafted strong lanes once again, drafted strong setup. Sure, their jungler didn't really have the opportunity to interact with the map until a bit later on, but it was still enough. The second he hit 6, we saw LNG just pulling the trigger left and right, and Doinb covering all the bases up until then. So, also pretty fun to see this combo come out from LNG. I remember seeing a clip of Doinb talking on stream about, if he expects teams to play Diana, and he pretty much was like, man, having Diana jungle as a mid laner is not fun, because you need to give up all the jungle camps that you would usually take to your Diana. I can't go steal enemy raptors. I have to let Diana steal enemy raptors. I can't take my jungler's raptors, they're hers.
I mean, when you're famous for your Rise CS hack, it makes sense that he's upset that his jungler gets to take jungle camps. That's kind of Doinb's signature move at this point, so I can get why he would be upset about that. But that is kind of hilarious to hear regardless. And honestly, it's kind of insane, the fact that he is still maintaining 10 CS per minute as Renekton mid that has been roaming around the map like crazy as well. I don't know how he does it. I know it is a copy pasta and a meme, but he is legitimately insane at CS.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. think about how many times this guy's been top lane twice. He's invaded the enemy bot side jungle like 2 or 3 times. He's been bot to dive twice, and he's still keeping it up. Doinb, massive performance. And now for LNG, I mean, when we talk about like what map play should come out or what macro, it doesn't really matter, which is weird to say because you put your 3 laners in each lane, you're going to push, you're going to win in the 1v1s or 2v2s. Tarzan can do whatever he wants. The ball is in IG's court. IG are the team who needs to make LNG care, need to, make something matter. And the way they're going to do that is you need to give up 1 lane. You need to wait till LNG are doing what they just did, where they're showing on 3 lanes. Be like, screw it, I'm going to give up CS on my Malphite, move him towards the mid lane, create a numbers advantage, and try and find a pick somewhere. That's the only way IG have a hope of even a little bit of closing this gold gap.
I mean, I think even if they make that play, they might lose on a 4v5. They're 9,000 gold down. That is such a ridiculous amount. Like, it's to the point where, consider how much gold an item costs, right? Everyone on LNG is on like an item and a half. 9,000 gold is far more gold than 1 champion is currently worth in the game. So a 4v5, I would say LNG maybe are at an advantage at that point with the level of gold lead. Just trying to put 9k in context at the 16-minute mark. It's completely bonkers. This Xun will be able to steal himself a red buff. A small consolation prize here for IG. But on, oh no, he's been found in the jungle. He's been spotted, but LvMao cannot quite find the Zenith blade. Good little Gale Force there from on to dodge away, get himself out of safety. But now another Herald comes down. This time it's in the mid lane.
Look, Munch, I like you putting money in context. Context is cool, I guess. But let's just say other members of LNG are showing on sides. Light walks a little bit too far forward. Oh, hey, neny's here. Bam! Smashed by a giant mountain boulder, man. And then suddenly, oh, guess what? Yuekai's here as well. Bam! Chaos Storm drops on him. Doesn't matter if he's a full item or a full item and a half above.
The problem is, and here's the fundamental problem with Malphite. Professional players are quite good at League of Legends, generally speaking. Light is a professional player. And one of the things that Malphite does is he presses R. And when he does that, it makes this big noise and his character starts flying in a direction. And if you're a professional player, usually you're good at pressing F, dodging that ability. And the second that that ability is dodged, IG no longer have a top laner. And it's all good.
No, Munch, I don't like you coming in with your analyst hat today. But,
it's more of a cynic hat than an analyst hat, honestly.
See, Munch, I told you, TPing on sides.
Okay, here we go. LNG making the play on the bottom side. Yuekai is like, I've got a gravity storm. And Doinb's like, I don't care. Okay, good call. Can they make the play happen elsewhere? neny, let's see the ult. LvMao, the target. They've got a pick for themselves. LvMao goes down. Maybe this is the window. Only 9,000 gold down. Surely IG can turn this into a win now.
For IG, they got a kill. For LNG, they got a kill and a blue buff. Which one is more valuable? We let the viewers decide. But yeah, for the side of IG, would have been nicer if you could have gotten the AD carry. You did get summoners out, so the next time that play can happen, Xun's dead.
Yeah, Xun is very dead. That's going to be an easy kill. Picked up by Light, gets himself a red buff off the back of it. That's a tier 2 tower down in the mid lane. And, well, that's just unfortunate, isn't it? That's just, if anyone was voting that IG had won the trade before, if you add the tier 2 tower mid and the extra kill, I'm still going to let you guys at home decide who won that trade, but let's just say it's a little bold.
We have Light walking forward. This was the scenario we set up. Has the Gale Force flash and heal away. Curtain called to blow LvMao's flash as well. And bam! neny goes in, finds the kill, and they walk away happy. I do gotta say though, I know the reason why IG are losing. Because no one hashtagged protect neny.
No
wasn't
one?
protected, Munchables. No one.
You know what? Even though we're currently casting Lyric for you, I'm gonna tweet it right now. That's all I can do for you. That's all I've got at this point. That's all anyone can do for IG.
You're showing your bias, but you're trying to make this game more competitive, which I respect. I feel like the viewers respect. And LNG gonna pick up another dragon. I don't know how much dragons are gonna matter in this game, considering we're 20 minutes in. Both teams only have one. Actually, we're probably getting to the point where LNG can maybe try and, you know, get vision topside, try and pull IG out. Not force Baron, but make them question, blow wards, blow TPs, all that jazz. I feel like LNG, you definitely want to be trying to force IG into and finding that fight. Breaking down their turrets can be quite hard. You don't have amazing siege potential coming in. You do have Jinx and Jayce, but typically they are going to be playing in different lanes. And as we see every game, there's always a Viktor. Viktor presses E. Viktor uses his ultimate. The wave is gone. So for LNG, you got to be pulling IG out of your base if you want to try and get the speed run wins.
I love that Yuekai has gone for the Lich Bane as well. Like, this guy wants to one-shot. This guy wants to do some big damage. This guy wants to have an impact. If he can ever get close to Light, he will one-shot Light. It's just whether or not that can ever happen. But, Yuekai takes a good chunk of damage up in this top side. And LNG, they're just completely and utterly in control. And I will say, like, when we go back to what we were talking about at the start of this series, about what we wanted each of these teams to achieve, like, we said we wanted LNG to be cleaner about it, to know what they wanted to do, to play the map better. They had ticked every single box. I feel like they took it as homework and have gone away and been like, okay, here's how you masterclass League of Legends.
I just love how you do it. Your statement of what we wanted LNG to do was just be better. That was pretty much the sum of all your points. Ooh, okay.
I mean, they definitely are being better.
I do want to say, right, two of the specifics we hit on were, one, LvMao, if we're being frank, not running it down, having a better performance. He not only didn't, you know, die a bunch this game, he was moving around the map with his mid laner, with his jungler, having a nice impact as well. Not high kill participation, but his presence was known and appreciated. And second was the coordination for plays. And we've seen great coordination coming in this time around, especially around a lot of those dives and a lot of those plays where they were just forcing enemies off turret and stacking up these CS advantages. So I definitely feel like LNG have hit the nail on the head of the things we needed to see if we wanted this kind of performance coming out from them.
Oh, Yuekai's in big trouble. He's in big trouble. A TP going to come through as well. Doinb doesn't have flash. Bit of a weird E from Doinb actually on that one. And now Chaos Stone burning away. But he's got a blast cone, so he'll get out second. That blast cone literally just spawned there as well. That was incredibly lucky for Doinb. He gets out with his life on that one. And incredibly unfortunate for IG that they just cannot find anything.
Some people are just born with it, Joe. You're just born with being able to have 10 CS per minute on Renekton. You're just born with the plant spawning right when you need it. That's the kind of man he is. That's how he's a world champion.
Would you say that he was born with...
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, God.
Maybe
I will
a little
say,
bit.
LNG, guys, you've been 11,000 gold up for a good while now. I feel like they could be a little more aggressive here. I feel like they're sort of just clearing waves. I'm going to be honest, I think this game could have been ended by now. If they just wanted to dive and inhib tower, I'm certain that they could. They are playing this very, very safe.
I still would just like to see them try and force a Baron. It's rough because there's a Malphite on the opposite side, but having Doinb zone over the wall, and if they do get close enough to where Doinb can engage, just commit for and engage yourself. Again, start Baron with the intention of not committing, but looking for a turn. And if IG don't come out, get the Baron, look for the end. That is the push and pull that we saw RNG do perfectly last year as Light might die.
That flash was the last split second from Light to dodge the shot. I cannot believe he got away with that one, honestly. But that is two ultimates burnt from the side of IG. But there's neny coming in from this side. Ala in big, big trouble here and likely will go down. There's a kill. Put on. There's Doinb maybe looking for a re-engage. Tarzan's there as well. The Zonya's coming out from Yuekai to keep him alive. Doinb in the middle of everyone. Tarzan trying to get involved in the fight as well. Doinb's completely invincible. And now the Moonfall comes in. LNG just straight up gold diffing the enemy team here. IG getting taken down as Tarzan finds 3. And it's kind of brutal to watch if you're an IG fan, but if you're a fan of LNG, you are loving every second of this.
It's just great to see LNG realize, hey, we don't know how to force a fight. We don't want to flip the Baron. We don't want to dive inhibitor turrets against Taric and Malphite. let's just make our AD carry almost int, give IG false confidence, and then they will come fight us. Brilliant play coming out from LNG. We never doubted them. That was definitely what happened. We're going to see here as neny. I mean, for IG, right, there's never going to be a better opportunity. You've already forced away the AD carry. Just go for it. They find the initial kill, and then Doinb having, the confidence to go in, because like you said earlier, LNG could win teamfights 4v5 with the massive advantage that they have. The damage not in the fight yet, but the second Tarzan gets in, the Moonfall follows up. He can just keep running forward as well. Flashes in, gets the dash, lands a few more kills, and for LNG, everything is good. Now that they have a Baron, because before it's like, hey, you guys pushing against IG's comp into inhibitors is quite hard. With those Baron buff minions, though, they will definitely have an avenue to get into the base.
Yep, beautifully done by LNG. And, it's a difficult strategy to pull off, mind controlling your opponents into doing what you need for them to be able to fight them. But LNG, if there's one team that's good at fighting them, it's them. neny now just narrowly dodging that solar flare, got slowed but not stunned. Will mean that he survives, at least for the time being. Doinb just trying to get some damage down onto the tower. Light is here to help him out as well, as Aleph pushes in the mid lane, but the dive is going to come up through. neny's in trouble. He's not even going to get to ult. Just gets one shot by the team. Light finishes him off. The 3-item Jinx is really starting to hit hard. And now LNG will make their way into the base of IG. And it might just be curtains for Invictus Gaming here, as just 4 people strong. I'm not sure they'll be able to defend. As Tarzan moves up, Light is here trying to get damage down as well. The mid wave being pushed by Doinb, who has teleport available. He's going to rejoin this fight, doing it in the mid lane to get a second inhibitor as well. Feels like LNG might be able to just snowball this into a win, but they might play with some restraint. They've had a lot of restraint so far this game. Will back away again.
Yeah, LNG playing this one by the book. Okay, I guess.
Why are you even teleporting? LNG, just complete disrespect at this point. Alan trying to teleport instead of recall, and then gets stopped by the captive audience. Oh my goodness, that was funny. Okay, now time for a final fight. I mean, at this point, Tarzan is doing half of Taric's health with a singular crescent strike. In with a moonfall. Yuekai actually flashing away from that one, does survive for the time being. Chaos Storm is going to miss though. Ala went too deep, and he goes down. And actually, I'm not sure LNG can end the game anymore. Doinb will be able to block the shots from the curtain call, but the game continues, Larry.
Maybe LNG just really wanted to see Chemtech Soul in action and actually be able to use it themselves, right? They have 2 minutes, 40 seconds till that one. I feel like you probably could group up, try and force an end before that with the fact that, I mean, your gold lead is now 15,000. Think about that, 15,000 gold. That is absolutely huge. An extra 3K on each of your members of the squad over their adversaries. So I feel very confident saying that they could look for the end, but we're going to get a replay of whatever just happened with these shenanigans. We see Tarzan trying to go in onto the Viktor, does have to back out, and then Ala feeling himself just a little bit too much. Really nice Gale Force coming out from On to be able to secure that kill and lead to the winning trade coming out for IG.
I just love that. I feel like this game for LNG is like, okay, we've been really serious all game, and we've got to win off the back of it. We need to get the shenanigans out of our system before game number 2, so the start of game number 2 can be good as well. Here we go, neny on the front line. Will just be finished off. Light getting the resets, and now we're about to see a Jinx shred through some health bars. Doinb have to tank another 3-man moonfall. Tarzan just doesn't miss, man. 17-4 is the scoreline, as the towers will be ripped off of the face of the rift. And IG go 0 points as LNG grab themselves a win.
It does not matter how far ahead they are in gold. It will always be pleasing and funny to see a multi-man moonfall that just deletes everyone. Tarzan coming out with a spectacular game. Doinb as well. Just the amount of pressure that Doinb was able to put on the map early by himself while he was just allowing Tarzan to farm, while Alo was just winning in the 1v1. It was insane to see, like you said, Munch, keeping up his farm as well. The second Tarzan got online, had his ultimate, we instantly see them making proactive plays. The 3-man core of jungle mid support roaming around the map, typically towards that bottom side, and just finding a ton of kills. Really great game to see from LNG. If you're an LNG fan, these are the types of games you want to keep seeing. Then get, you know, get a little bit rocky later on. Like Munch said, I feel like maybe they just try to let loose. Yeah, you don't want to go into game 2 and do that. So just do it now.
Exactly. Well, you've got a 15k gold lead. May as well just have a bit of fun with it. Get that out of the system. The game number 2, they can look clean again. I know Goldborg somewhere is going to be over the moon with how LNG looked in this one. And I just want to say, I said it before the series, and I'll say it again. LvMao actually looking pretty good. I think this guy is a great player. You can understand now why LvMao has been played, right, over I1D. There had to be a reason. There had to be something going on behind the scenes for LvMao to be being played over I1D. And I feel like this game, we got to see a little taste of that.
I'm not going to double down on your point. The opinion, though, is there. LvMao fans will appreciate it, but damage numbers, not all too surprising. Viktor coming out massively. I'm a bit surprised maybe at On's damage, but for LNG, I didn't expect super big damage numbers to come out right. It's mostly about those one-off fights that turn into huge objectives. That's what these type of comps that rely on the Wombo combo coming out from the Diana typically do. It's like, hey, we won this one big fight, turn into objective. Now we're not really hitting you guys for the next like 10 minutes of the game. And now we're going to see if LNG can keep that up. And more importantly to me, do we keep getting these types of drafts? Because this is what League of Legends and what LPL was supposed to look like.
I completely agree. I cannot wait to find out and give you an answer